This week in the Restroom, we get our cinematic fedoras on to flush a Sin City ripoff turd from 2008. We've got parkour action scenes, overly sexist dialogue, nausea-inducing comic style, constant costume changes, and actor Samuel L. Jackson chewing up so much scenery they had nothing left but a green screen for their set. It's The Spirit, and before we flush it, we're going to take it out and play with it a little. Restroom Cinema. We're here to flush it, so you don't have to see it. Greetings, everyone. I am Honor Knight, your head cinematic flusher, right here in the Restroom. As always, I'm joined by my lovely co-cinematic flushers, Midwest movie mogul Colleen Griffin.
Hey, hey, hey.
And sassy cinephile Sarah Polton.
Hey, biatch.
Let's kick off this flush with a round of Thunder Dump. Blow some ass. I'll put 60 seconds on the Restroom clock, and we're going to go around the cinematic bowl to see who has the worst alternate title for this week's cinematic turd. The loser will then get to read the RSS, that's Restroom Stall Stats, in a funny voice of my choosing. Here we go. Griff!
Sin Shitty.
Polton!
Octopussy.
Oh, two nice ones. I had the sexist spirit. Griffin!
The Pun-isher.
Oh, not bad, not bad. Polton!
Cat on a hot tin roof.
I had Sin City Batman. I gotta think about that one. Griffin!
Do not see this movie.
Oh, but I'm bummed. Hey-oh, Polton!
Shit City.
I had How to Make a Feature Film with Only a Green Screen and a Storage Unit. Griffin!
50 Shades of What the Fuck.
Oh, nice. Polton!
Die Another Day.
Oh, now she's starting to slide. And I had, when everyone else says no, Samuel L. Jackson says yes. Griffin?
It's the spirit of the alt-right.
Oh, and that is time. That is time.
Oh, come on. You extended it just for me to get in a lame one. This is rigged. This is rigged.
All right, that was an excellent round of Thunder Dump, but we stretched it a little too long, and of course, Miss Griffin slid into the end there.
Rigged.
All right, so the big loser this time is, of course, Colleen Griffin, and she gets to read the RSS Restroom Stall Stats in the voice of a hard-boiled dick.
Wait, what's a hard-boiled dick? Is that supposed to be like the spirit talking to the city like it's somebody he wants to bang?
There you go. You are correct. You're absolutely correct.
Okay.
Have at it!
The Spirit is a 2008 American neo-noir superhero film written and directed by Frank Miller and starring Gabriel Macht, Eva Mendes, Sarah Paulson, Dan Lauria, Paz Vega, Jamie King, Scarlett Johansson, and Samuel L. Jackson. Man, they ran it through me hard. The film is based on the newspaper comic strip The Spirit by Will Eisner. Black and white, not like the city. The story deals with a shadowy crime fighter and his efforts to stop the villainous Octopus before he can drink the blood of Hercules and become more. The film was a box office flop, receiving a 14% rating at the movie review aggregate site Rotten Tomatoes, rotten like the city, with critics citing its unnecessary humor because there is no humor in the city, melodramatic acting and style, lack of originality, sexist and exploitative overtones, and divergence from the source material.
Wow, excellent job, Miss Griffin. Well, there you go, folks.
Dying.
That is your RSS stats. Boy, if you ever want to know what Batman will be like in a shitty red tie and fedora, have we got the film for you?
Oh boy.
Hey, Warren Beatty called. He'd like his overly stylized 40s film back, please. I think I gotta think about that one. Yeah, I know. We have to go back to 1990.
You know what makes Dick Tracy look like a masterpiece?
It is, compared to this, does it? Oh my god. Did anyone else get a headache from this Sin City visual crap, like the overall style? This turn should have come with a free bottle of fucking aspirin.
It was like an expired Xanax. It was like...
This film is the reason comic book writers don't direct films. Frank Miller's to directing what Pauly Shore's to acting. They both suck at it.
Oh, it's so bad.
Jesus Christ.
It's like having a stroke watching this movie.
Yeah. It took me 6 hours to watch this movie because I
Wow,
kept pausing it.
6. Oh
No,
my God.
you know what? No, you know what? I waited purposely until like down to the wire to watch this movie because I knew that
Yeah.
like I either would not get through it or would not remember it.
Based on the comic book series created by Will Eisner, who modern-day audiences could give a shit less about. Sorry, Will, you've been dead. Nobody cares about the Spirit. He was a knockoff of the Shadow, which was a much better character.
That would be a fun movie to flush.
But at least that was more watchable than this. That was a lot more. Well, at least that one had a sense of fun.
Well,
this
and
one is just
apparently they cut out a lot. Like this
out?
originally like was a lot more offensive. The source material was a lot more offensive. Like it had a lot more racial stereotypes.
Really?
That they cut out of this movie.
I am death, Denny Colt. No, you're actually that dumb chick from My Name is Earl, looking like one of those silhouetted chicks that somehow managed to escape the opening of a credits of a Bond
That
film.
is not her. That
What?
is a different person.
Jamie King was
No, it is
credited.
her.
No, it is
No,
her.
it's Jamie Presley was in My Name is Earl.
Oh, so who the hell is Jamie King?
Jamie King was the main blonde in Sin City who Bruce
I honestly thought it was the chick from My Name is Earl. Okay, so I stand corrected, but Jamie
I was
King
with you
apparently.
on her.
Something big is breaking down by the mud flats. More like shit flats, since we're gonna have to listen to this god-awful Dick Tracy-style dialogue for the next 103 minutes. Buckle up, kids. All of the dialogue just lands with a lead brick. None of it sails. This is all that stylized, hard-boiled detective film noir shit, bad film noir dialogue. And Frank Miller's a gifted writer. So basically,
Dialogue in a comic book and dialogue on a screen are just different formats, and it does not translate.
yeah, right. Who knows how far his tentacles spread? Hey-oh! Didn't even need to write a joke for that line. We have this opening that the Spirit gives us voiceover about him in his city and how he wants to, he loves the city, wants to fuck his city, and there's crime breaking out, and now we transfer to this mud flats where there's this crime going down, where this guy's about to get shot to death in some mud hole.
Yeah, seriously, he's trying to bone down with the city.
He is boning down. My city, well, here you go, folks. My city, she's always there for me. Unlike the Sin City fans who quickly deserted this knockoff turd upon its release. Guys, if you like Sin City, I don't think you stuck around for this. I'm pretty sure.
I wanted to see this in theaters, and no one would go with me. And I was like, "Why? It looks great, guys."
Oh my god, that's exactly the same with me because they did such a good job with making the trailer look like, oh, it's gonna be like Sin City but with more women.
Yeah, right, and there's
Yeah, you
women, but
wish.
written for the screen and directed by Frank Miller. Hey, remember how great The Dark Knight Returns was, kids? Well, get ready to lower your expectations drastically. I've never seen a writer bungle something this bad who's a talented writer, an award-winning writer. He co-scripted and co-directed Sin City, which was fine. And
Well,
then
but Frank Miller's also into like rapey.
Oh, he does. A lot of
versions.
his work is super rapey and sexist and misogynistic, and that's the print stuff, which is not
Like-
always adaptable to the screen. You can't,
Yeah, about how Wonder Woman wants to be raped.
Oh, yeah. Well, there is that. Yeah, I know. So Frank Miller's has always been questionable in terms of the type of stories he likes to write and produce, and he's never been apologetic about it either. She is my love. She is my life, and I am her spirit. Just in case you've already forgotten the title of this turd, only 5 minutes into the running time. How many times do we have to have the guy's name? They constantly say the spirit. Spirit, the spirit, spirit. I mean, Jesus Christ, we know the title of the
and then
film.
later on, sand. Drink every time they say sand, sand.
This movie says the title of this character more than Batman's name in all of the Batman films ever made. Folks, remember to drink a game every time somebody says the spirit or spirit. Well,
Don't
Don't
drink
kill
spirit.
yourself.
Don't drink spirits when you hear the word spirit.
It's 911 on speed dial, folks.
Yeah,
We're
just
not
call
kidding.
911.
Yeah, just do it
Put the
now.
movie
Just
on.
do
Well,
it
and
now.
also like it feels like a halfway parody of
Yes.
these movies.
How big? Octopus big. Griff?
That's what she said.
Hello! Did every major actor in Hollywood circa 2008 have to say no to this turd in order for Gabriel Macht to get this role? He spits out all of his dialogue with the emotion of an SNL guest host reading directly from the cue cards.
No, I think he was directed into.
Oh, come on.
Make fun of it all you want, but Suits has been on the air for a long time, and he's like he's the lead actor on that. I think he was directed into a hole. It was his first major movie role after Sin City. If you're an up-and-coming actor, obviously you want to work with Frank Miller.
Yeah, but Griffin, I've seen granite blocks that had more charisma than him. He
don't
has
think
no
it was-
charisma in this film.
I really don't think it was his
All
fault.
right,
I
well,
think,
if you want to defend him for suits,
Yeah,
I think
he was not good.
he's a
and
lead
he's
brick.
cute.
Oh, he
He's
was
a lead balloon
terrible,
in
but
this
I
film.
think he didn't know what to do. Like,
All right.
I think Frank Miller is not known for being a good director either.
No, he's not a director. This is this one and only film. He's not a director. I mean, he's credited with co-directing Sin City, but that's more Rodriguez than it is him. And Rodriguez
Exactly.
did him a solid by giving him a co-director's credit. Okay, so Frank Miller's not a director. He's a writer. Okay, let's get that straight. You're right. And so he can't direct actors, but Gabriel Macht is a professional actor. He should have tried to at least work his way through this material, but he drops every line.
Okay, I can't believe I'm not like defending him, but
No,
everybody who is like has gone on to do bigger and better things is shitty in this movie.
All right, yeah.
Here's what I'll say in his defense.
Go ahead.
He's acting against green screens in every scene in like the shittiest sets and the shittiest costumes with the shittiest lines. So
Paul, you got to keep in mind, this is 2008. Green screen was still a new thing, but now in 2017, green screen.
I could make this movie in my apartment.
Well, anybody could have
No,
made. You're right. I know.
So let's not pretend like 2008 was that long ago.
I know, but I'm saying green
Sin
screen
City looks
acting
better
is-
than this, and it
Yes,
was
it did.
right
It did.
before
it did.
then.
All
So
right, all right.
it's totally doable.
All right. Well,
I
all right.
think it was direction. I really do.
Well, I'm not a sailor and I'm not a cop. Well, that's two of the village people down. Anyone want to bet he's the Indian? Why?
I like that one.
All right, there you go. Okay,
Young
yeah.
man.
Yeah. There's a place you can go. All right. Yeah, with apologies to the village people who probably do not want to be associated with this
they
film.
would very much
Yeah.
like to be
Yes,
excluded from
that's
this
it.
narrative.
He's breathing. He's still breathing. In case you were wondering what Frank Miller looked like, he's a cop having to chunk down his own dialogue around the 8-minute mark. There's a guy that's at the mud flats who gets shot by Octopus, the Sam Jackson character. We'll get to him in a minute. As a result,
Okay.
the spirit is on the case, and he brings his cop in with him. The cop is played by Frank Miller. That's actually Frank Miller. She was beautiful. She was also related to Aquaman, since Eva Mendes seems to be breathing under CGI water for at least 2 full minutes.
Oh my
How
god.
is that even possible?
That was when I was like, this movie is
Yeah.
fucking bonkers.
So it's all green screen, folks. Eva Mendes plays a character. I'll get to her name, and I'm not going to give away the name in a sec. But she goes back underwater in this lake in the city, and under this lake, there's these 2 suitcases, these 2 luggage trunks, I should say, luggage trunks that are being retrieved, and she's underwater for at least 2 full minutes. The other guy had oxygen, right? The Eric Balfour character. I think he had a.
Oh yeah, whatever happened to him?
Well, but yeah, we don't. Yeah, the less said about him, the better. But anyway, she's underwater just breathing, and Sam Jackson goes in after her. We'll talk about him, which is coming up right now. It's the Octopus. You know what he can do. Put Sam Jackson in a big goofy hat, and he can pretty much do anything, I guess, around the 10-minute mark. Why is he dressed like a plantation owner in this scene?
Also,
There-
she's underwater in a leather cat
What?
suit. Like, that's not a scuba suit. That's like a leather.
Hey,
And
hey,
by underwater, I mean a fan is blowing and they put a blue light on her.
Yeah, is that underwater?
Okay, all right.
Colton?
In her defense, apparently now
Oh,
during
boy.
swim classes, they actually teach children to swim in their clothes.
Yeah, but not in a
Well-
leather cat suit, Griffin. Come on.
In a leather cat suit? Don't put leather in water.
Yeah, don't put. Yeah, you never put leather in water, guys.
Well, I'm sorry they're not the Real Housewives of Oakland.
Well, but honestly,
at the pussy patty.
we got to really circle in though on Sam Jackson's big goofy
Ooh, and
plantation
that
owner hat.
eyeliner.
No, he was Yosemite Sam Jackson.
Yeah. We're gonna give Griffin with the win on that one. Yeah, he's actually. I say. Oh no, that's Foghorn Leghorn. Shit, I'm doing the wrong Looney Tunes character. All right, I'll get it. I'll pull it.
Oh, I'm so mad.
There is nothing I like better than kicking your ass all night long and appearing in turds like this one repeatedly. Sam Jackson is notorious for just taking work.
I don't care.
He's done this role several times, though. He's done this role over and over and over again. It's the same villain role.
Yeah, so has Anthony Hopkins.
Well,
And so has Christopher Walken. And you know what? Fine.
You
All
did
right,
snakes on a plane.
You guys
What
are
else
very,
do
you
need
guys
to
are
do
very
at this point?
forgiving.
You might
You
as well
guys
commit.
you guys are very forgiving.
Yeah, get these motherfucking Nazis out of my motherfucking city.
Okay. Oh, that's right. All right. Griffin started early with that. Okay, good. Silken Floss is the most beautiful woman ever. Not in that big Halloween store wig, glasses, and hat she's not. Scarlett Johansson looked like she just got back from a beat poetry reading around the 12-minute mark. Guys, why does she have feathers on her eyelashes? Was Lady Gaga the makeup artist?
She's like an insufferable like Brooklyn
So
hipster.
we should mention she's a scientist that's helping out Octopus, who's the main villain of the piece, which is played by Sam Jackson. Basically, they're trying to get these 2 luggage containers that Eva Mendes' character got. She's a thief before they do, and they fail, of course. Or they get the wrong one. They get the wrong container, which they don't know yet. We'll talk about that. And Eva Mendes escapes. So anyway, Scarlett Johansson completely wasted in this film. And folks, if you like ScarJo, that's your teaser for next week. That's all we're going to say. We're not going to but it will involve...
If you like ScarJo and cultural appropriation, stay tuned.
Stay tuned, folks. Next week's going to be epic. Come on. Toilets are always funny. You don't have to tell us, Sam. We're in the restroom. You're in this turd.
I saw that line.
And we're flushing
it.
This is damn funny indeed, right? So as they escape, the spirit shows up, Gabriel Macht, and starts fighting with Sam Jackson. It's a pointless superhero fight because they're both invincible. We don't know why, but they're both quasi-invincible. So it's a long scene of them beating the shit out of each other with toilets and kitchen sinks and all these other props they have laying around, the mud flats. There you go. I've had enough of this, of watching 2 lead actors beat the tar out of each other for nearly 3 minutes, guys, in case you're wondering. So have we. I've seen 3 Stooges fights that were more entertaining. There's no stakes at the beginning of this film. So we don't know why they're fighting, who they are, why they're invincible. They don't front load this stuff so we can care about either one of these characters. And that's a huge problem. Go ahead.
This movie feels like it was shot out of sequence, and most of it. and they just decided to just go with it.
I'm going to kill you all kinds of dead, which sadly probably won't happen until the end of running time. It actually does not, so hang in there, folks. That tears it. You're delusional. Someone get Frank Miller the hell out of here now. The first line was the line. The second part was me. None of that flew. But the point is, Frank Miller is underqualified to be directing at all, especially major actors. I don't understand how Jackson and Sarah Paulson, I'm sorry, not Sarah Polton. There's 2 different people. We'll talk about her and what.
Paulson.
How much
Paulson.
You guys would have died if I had shown up in this.
If Sarah Polton was in, I would have,
with that wig on.
Thumbs up, right? And speaking of her, the talented Sarah Paulson shows up around the 18-minute mark, sporting a hairdo that makes her look like the Dutch boy's sister. I was half hoping she was selling paint.
That was not her hair.
Oh, that wasn't? It was.
No,
oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
That was like the worst wig ever.
I was really nervous because there's wigs in this film, folks. A lot of them.
I know.
Oh my
all
God.
of them are bad. Guys,
you could see the netting on Samuel Jackson at some point with his facial hair, and you can literally see the net.
No, the lace front. Yeah, you could see the lace front.
You see the whole lace front all the way down the sides of his face. Like, did someone not go, let's fucking fix this?
Guys, let's step it up with the wig. But $60 million budget, none of it went to hair and wigs. And we'll talk about there's more wigs coming up. So Sarah Paulton.
They just spent it all on glorified Instagram filters.
Yeah, this is an Instagram movie. You're right, Griff. I think you might have cracked this whole thing. Sarah Paulton. I'm sorry.
Paulson.
Yes, from American Horror Story and
this
many
pathetic
other.
chick does remind me a little bit of myself.
She is a doctor who.
I know. She's like, bastard. And then she's like, but I love you.
She's kind of the love interest for Gabriel Macht, kind of. I say sort of, but she's a doctor and shows up at this crime scene after that guy who got shot in the chest over the luggage starts dying. But God bless her with that wig. Not this again. You know the score. You were once in a hit TV series, Dan Laria, and now you're forced to take crappy roles like this one so you can keep paying your mortgage. Laria's character is like Commissioner Gordon crossed with Harvey Bullock, but a lot less entertaining. And I'm getting crickets on all of this. So basically, Dan Laria is from the Wonder Years. He played the dad in the Wonder Years. I gotta break this down. And he plays the commissioner in this film. He's the head, who has to work with the spirit. They have a sort of an arrangement, kind of like Batman and Commissioner Gordon. Guys,
this is like wannabe Gotham.
You're right. It's wannabe
This
Gotham.
is more like Adam West's Batman, but like trying to be serious.
You're right.
But I loved Adam West's Batman.
He was wonderful, but he was a comedy, and he leaned into the comedy.
Right.
But this is like if they were making it serious, but it just flopped.
Yeah, so it's like Adam West if like they dubbed it over with Christian Bale's voice.
Yes.
You're right. All right, perfect. There you go, Griff with the win. Yeah, and you're going through my men like toilet paper, just like the actors went through this script. Hey-oo. As I said, I haven't heard dialogue this bad since Dick Tracy.
Yeah, but you know what? Dick Tracy knew exactly what it was.
Maybe that's it. Maybe Miller was shooting for something a little loftier.
Miller was shooting up and not shooting for anything.
Sam Jackson's character Octopus escapes from this first battle, and Mr. The Spirit is called on the carpet by the Dan Laria, the Wonder Kids character.
Mr. The Spirit.
Mr. the Spirit. He's called on a carpet, and they have a fight, and of course that it ends. There's a lot of back history that we're gonna know shortly, so hang in there. No egg on my face. Wonder how many times Sam Jackson has uttered this line, only to be proven wrong over and over.
Okay, you know what? It seems like it would have been his catchphrase.
Okay.
Or something.
But no.
Like, there are so many things he said that could have been made into, like, something that would have occurred over and over again, and they never did.
Yeah, but nothing stuck.
There was no signature thing about any of these people.
No, you're right. And there's too much signature, and that's the problem. It's overloaded with signature, and none of it sticks. None of these
are reoccurring.
No, the egg thing does come back.
But, like, once.
Okay.
The only thing that came back again was the cat thing, and that was just like a background.
Was there a reason for the cat? Did the cat mean anything, or?
Paul, are you done pissing?
Yeah, I'm done. I have a tinkle.
I was about to break when I read your thing, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, so Sarah Paul took a big leak while we were recording,
This is soiled
folks.
Restroom cinema, right?
She literally had to go take a piss. Yeah,
hey, we had to depend on you, so we're
depend. But
I was very poised.
Yeah, a little reality for the show. Sans serif. Ugh. Aside from being a really nice type font. Shit.
My God.
Let me back up. I gotta redo the joke.
Right?
I didn't read this correct. Hold on.
Next is going to be Wing-a-dings.
All right, we're going to keep going. It also seems to be a cue for an unnecessary sepia-tone flashback around the 24-minute mark. Now we get a flashback, folks, to find out how Sans serif, who stole that luggage containers we talked about earlier, knew Gabriel Macht character, the Spirit, okay?
No, he's going to move on to somebody Courier knew.
Yeah. Well, I can't even get through the jokes. Was Comic Sans already taken?
Oh my God, I actually thought of Comic Sans. That is like Dick Tracy.
It is a lot of Dick Tracy stuff, but really, guys, Sans serif, which is a nice font.
It's not the 70s anymore.
Yeah, you can't get away with that shit in 2008. You can't do it.
I actually really liked the flashback, though. I thought it was the only good part of the film. I thought the actors were really good. I thought they were very cute.
My next, so it's a young Gabriel Macht, the Spirit character, young Eva Mendes, and I said, why is the young Spirit character wearing a hat that makes him look like he's about to bust out on a song from Newsies? Like that little cap was kind of cute, wasn't it?
Hey, there is nothing wrong with anything involving Newsies.
All right, so got one Newsies fan on the show. I suppose you want me to be your girl? This scene is how all pimp hooker relationships begin. Take note, kids. Hey, all right, so there you go with that one. He gives her a locket. So they form a relationship with their kids, and then we're going to find out why they're not together. Basically with the next line. Then everything went straight to hell. Wonder at what point during the production Frank Miller uttered this line. Probably never, because I think he was completely clueless. He probably thought he was shitting gold bricks making this film. I really do.
100%. Yeah. I bet everybody was like, this film's going to be amazing.
Because I think Robert Rodriguez showed up once a week to suck his dick and tell him what a great job he was fucking doing on this movie and then walked away. You know what, guys? After a blowjob, you are going to think you're doing a great job. So, I understand where that's coming from, or a dick-sucking blowjob, not an actual blowjob. It could be an actual blowjob. I don't know what's happening right now, but my point is...
No, also, like,
you know what I'm saying?
Cocaine.
Frank Miller, bitch! I bet that's what he was saying for the entire production.
Well, actually,
where's Dave Chappelle when we need him?
Character was kind of like a Nazi Rick James.
Well, we'll get to that too. With apologies to Dave Chappelle.
Apologies to many people.
Yeah, including Rick James. It wasn't Pete. It was that Guido, and you know that. Yeah, let's get those racial stereotypes straight, people. Guido's a Guido. There's a Guido
and again, they restrained themselves about how bad it could have been.
So basically, her father, Sans serif's father, gets shot. He was a police officer, and he gets shot to death mistakenly, not by that Guido. Well, by the Guido, not by somebody that I know.
Apologies for racial stereotypes.
I know if there's any Italian people listening, I do apologize. You know what I'm talking. Any Jersey Shore listeners. You know what I'm talking about. So as a result, she ends up delusion, and she basically is the Catwoman of the piece. She just wants fancy jewels and money and shit like that. The kid wants to grow up to be a cop. So we have to have an unnecessary origin story. I know Polton said she liked the sequence, but again, when you have to put flashback sequences in your film, that's bad screenwriting. It's just not very good screenwriting. Frank Miller should have known better. Folks, you also got to remember, this is all done on green screen on a very small set. So basically, you have two actors that are walking on a treadmill. They throw the background in later on, and it looks like two actors walking on a treadmill.
No, they're walking on a people mover at the airport. They just like put things around, LAX.
It looks like complete shit. I'm glad they don't do this style anymore. I'm glad 300 was the other one that did this, and they effectively. Can we just shoot on a practical, or at least do the Marvel stuff where it looks semi-realistic? I'm tired of the stylized comic style. Mark this moment, all of you. Because this film is about to get a lot dumber. Here you go, guys. I am sorely disappointed as Sam Jackson decked out like a character from Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon around the 31-minute mark. So are we. Paul, that's what you're talking about. He's got those mutton chops slapped on.
Oh, my God.
Halloween store, kids.
I took a mustache making workshop in college, and I gotta tell you,
I bet you did.
It is really hard, and I'm really bad at it, and I still made better mutton chops than what they slapped on Samuel L. Jackson.
He looked like a failed screen test for an Austin Powers sequel.
I did. What other box, you fart? This may be the best line in this turd.
Oh my God!
Way to go, ScarJo.
I would have been like, "That's the best you got."
Well, I know. So basically, what happens is he gets one of the two luggage containers we're talking about, and he opens up, and it's not what he wanted. The one he wants, we won't describe what's in both of them until a little bit later on, but it's not the one he wants. So basically, he goes ballistic, and we should say he has these bald henchmen, which is really the same guy duplicated, who are clones basically that he manufactures, and he just kills them at random. They're dumb henchmen. They're like the Three Stooges curly.
Their t-shirts all say different things.
Yeah, but who's paying for the t-shirts, Griffin?
Represent different, I don't know.
Yeah, but who's paying for the t-shirts? Why would he create these things and pay for t-shirts that said, huevos and amigos on them? Who gives,
dildos?
No,
I'm serious.
What was that? What was this character? What was it? I don't get it.
Henchman. It was a henchman.
No, it was like Tweedledum,
and
Tweedletwat. I
don't know. Why would you pick that loser to clone?
I know, they're completely useless as henchmen, and they're used as fodder for the entire running time, folks. We're not kidding. Just, and folks, I would say, go watch this online.
But Who Framed Roger Rabbit characters come to life.
And in case you're wondering why we're doing this fucking turd this week, it's because Sam Jackson shows up in the Hitman's Bodyguard tomorrow, which is probably gonna be the same performance he's given here. So
that movie looks like excellent.
All right, well, Griffin will be at that one tomorrow. I may be. We'll see.
Hey, stop it.
We're gonna kill the spirit. What you should be killing is the scene from the film. ScarJo and Jackson run all their lines off like they're rehearsing for a dinner theater production. The acting in this scene was terrible between the two of them. They're just going back and forth line for line, but it's just cue card reading. There's no acting. There's just no emotion with either one. It's like they didn't want to be there at that point or that day or whatever it was, or they just didn't want to do. And Griffin, I'll circle back. You might be right on that. Frank Miller can't direct actors, and he just couldn't give it. And some actors need directing. Let's face it. Sam Jackson's only so good, and ScarJo's only so good. Sometimes you need a little push to get the performance you need out of these people. Why the devil are you doing this to me? This is what my co-flushers ask me every week in the restroom. Hey, there you go. That circles back to that.
I'll own this. I picked it, so I'll own it.
A perfect ass. Hey, you said it. I think they were talking about Eva Mendes in that one.
Oh my God, that was so weird.
Yeah,
that was odd. And that is how I go on first dates, though, I will say.
Perfect ass.
It was so weird how it was supposed to be like this noir thing, and then she sat her ass on the copier. And
is this the copier scene?
Yeah.
She wants to get the other luggage container, which has what she wants. Sam Jackson, he wants the other luggage container. Basically, she extorts this museum owner or collection owner.
One of them has. It's based on Greek myths.
Yes, we should mention. Yeah, that's coming up, folks. I haven't gotten to it yet, but there's a lot of Greek myths thrown in with this other 40s bullshit and superhero nonsense. So just hang in there. She basically gets the information she needs from that guy, and he ends up. She forces him basically to kill himself, which he does. That's the end of that scene. But she does Xerox her ass. I think that comes back around a little bit.
It comes back around.
All right, just come back around. All right, we'll get to see the Xerox ass showing up, folks, and her actual ass. Hang in there. I feel like breaking the rules. Well, so did Frank Miller when he shot this overly sexist scene between Mac and Paulson around the 38-minute mark. We should mention that Mac's character, Spirit, man, oh man, talk about a womanizer. There's nothing worse than making your hero so unlikable. This guy fucked everybody in the city, including the city.
He's charming.
No, he's not charming. You're right.
But that's the thing. He's like a womanizer who's like, what? Yeah. I'm just being me, and I'm damaged. that's worse than being like a James Bond type womanizer.
You're right.
You're
right.
like upfront about it.
Right. He rolls into the ER to get treated by Sarah Paulson, he's really in love with her, and she's in love with him. But basically, he just can't stop fucking everybody in the city long enough to really appreciate who's Sarah Paulson's Dutch boy wig. To know that they're a perfect match, but Paulson, not Polton, not Polton, right? Polson, completely different people. You should get some sleep. You look like hell. Damn, I miss the 40s when you can talk to broads like that.
No, his daughter.
I know. We don't find that out till later, but at that point in the line, he just Dan Lauria.
He said thanks, Dad.
Dan Lauria, who plays the Commissioner Gordon character, is a father to the Sarah Paulson character with the.
She says it then.
Does she?
Thanks, Dad.
Oh, she did. I didn't hear that. Okay, yeah, but still, it's just overly sexist. There's a lot of sexist. The whole film is just.
And again, guys, if Honor is saying this,
I know, and that's coming from me. I know, I give a lot of leeway, but here, geez, this guy's just so unlikable because of that. He's just a dick. The entire running time. Marry me. Just doing my job, sir. This brief homosexual moment around the 40-minute mark is brought to you by Frank Miller. You're welcome, gays. That's where he goes back down on the street and he starts talking to people, and he saves a handbag to a guy, not a girl.
It's supposed to make him seem like he has some like kind of magical pheromone where like he can make everybody fall in love with him. I feel like there's some like scenes that were edited out of this where it shows that he can make both men and women fall in love with him, and this is all they would allow.
Yeah, we saw that character. It was called Captain Jack Harkness. John Barrowman's character.
Oh, yeah, which was awesome.
Much better, which was awesome. Here, not so much awesome. And I wish they played into more of that. Maybe this would have sold a little better if they played up that angle. Cool. If he was more omnisexual. Like, yeah, that would have made more sense. But here, it's just you get one gay moment in the whole fucking movie. I can't say anything other than thanks for being such lovely and amazing creatures. Did anyone else get a rapey vibe from Mock, especially with that mask on? He was constant. If a guy said you that with that stupid spirit gum mask on, I'd be fucking creeped out. Maybe if he was fucking instead of fighting, this might have been more watchable. Oof. Not better, mind you. Just more watchable.
Yeah. This needed more violence and more sex. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
You gotta lean in.
This whole thing felt half-assed.
Was it Sheryl Sandberg? Lean in. Let's lean in.
You gotta lean in. You gotta lean in. Lean in, please. Electra Complex. It's like Otapil I can't. I'm so drunk. But it's for the girls. I guess you're wondering what the chick from Castle did in her off time. Apparently, it's chunking out lines like me of dialogue like this horrible accent around the 42-minute mark. Man, I completely butchered that.
Stana Katic.
I couldn't pronounce her name. Thank you. But she got fired from Castle, and then they or she left.
Okay, it's up for debate.
It's a long debate on that. Well, that's a whole separate show. But if you're Castle fans, you know Stana. What's her name?
Stana Katic.
Thank you. And she's terrible in this, and also terrible accent.
Well, no, but I feel like she was directed. She was supposed to.
All right.
I feel like she's supposed to be like, oh yeah, see, I'm a cop. See.
That's pretty good, Griff. You should have done your stats.
Oh yeah, like
she was cute.
She plays a rookie cop who's working with the Commissioner Gordon, the Dan Lauria character, to solve the crime of the guy who got murdered, the collector we're talking about. Which they know it's tied into Gabriel Macht's character, the spirit they bring him in, but he doesn't want to let on that Sans Serif might have been, his former lover, Sans Serif, or Comic Sans might have been involved in the killing of this character, who got his head blown off, and there's a nice silhouette of that. I thought that was okay. No, not murder, not her. That's what Max says. That's right. No one who Xeroxes their asses possibly murder anyone. That was a pretty nice ass. I will say, her Xerox ass looked all right. You were hard on the outside, but inside you were warm and soft. All woman, I'm sorry. More like all jackass for the sexist voiceover lines like this one. It just never ends with this guy.
And the thing is, it's like, go with the hard R rating then.
How do you do this material PG-13? What idiot thought this was okay rating?
Especially after Sin City was
right, it was an R. Yeah. And I believe 300 was R. Am I correct? I believe that one was... Well, so how do you... Guys, 2 out of 3? And you're going to make this PG-13? You fucking morons. I don't know who the studio thought this... Well, who are you appealing to? It's not kids. You're not making action figures out of this. Like, nobody's collecting this stuff. So why don't you just go the hard R and give the proper treatment to the character? It might have been more watchable.
But it's more than just the character. It is the tone. You can't decide if you want it to be campy or if you want it to be
another problem. There's
a serious noir.
Don't you think that's just plain damn weird? Shit, I read that wrong. Tiny head on a foot. No weirder than Sam Jackson's sad clown tears tattoos under his eyes, I suppose. I guess I had a better joke for that one. But there's a weird scene where they go back to him, and he's in his lab, and he's got one of those clone heads on a foot.
Sweet old dumb head on a foot.
I know.
So does he clone this idiot, and that's why they're henchmen?
Yeah, that's why they're henchmen.
I don't get it. That's not the person I would want to clone to be my henchman.
Well,
I'm just saying.
That's another problem.
Exactly.
You want to clone somebody a little smarter, but all right. You speak to my soul. The black-eyed Venus is in Suite 1510. Cheap midget joke around the 51-minute mark. Kind of goes well with all the sexist stuff. This is basically a Howard Stern film noir turd. I don't know. So it's basically Gabriel Macht, the spirit on the case, trying to find out where Sans Serif is staying in the city because he knows she's in the city. She returned to the city after leaving for Europe. And there's a midget there that tells him he's in 1510.
A little person.
A minion, but it wasn't Peter Dinklage.
Minions are not real.
Okay, put a robe on or something. There you go, guys. Eva Mendes, bare ass alert around the 51-minute mark, kids. Thank God this turd isn't a total loss. And then I wrote few. Griffin, you're thinking it was a body double.
No, because of the way it was cut. Because
really?
of the editing.
Her ass is pretty close to.
No, I mean it looked great. I'm not saying her ass doesn't look amazing.
Well,
I'm just saying by the way it was edited, I don't think it was.
Okay,
her.
but the only reason I say that.
No, and honestly, for this movie, I wouldn't have bared my ass either.
Well,
not that anybody wants to see it, but I mean, come on.
I want to see it.
Griff,
we got one.
Griff, we all want to see her ass. But that point aside, we should say that in Sin City, Carla Gugino, I can't pronounce her fuck because I've been drinking. She was top, like she actually showed her breasts in that one. So that's what I thought maybe in this film that even Mendes would have been like, because even Mendes.
But again, it's the way the scene is cut that it looked like it would be easy to do it with the body double.
Yeah, I can see it, but I also can see Mendes doing that because she's not,
How bad is this movie that we are debating this?
Well, that's it. That's exactly my point. When you got nothing else to hang on, Eva Mendes' ass. But anyway, whoever it is, if it's a body double or her. Great ass. The spirit shows up at her apartment while she was coming out of the shower. He blames the murder of the guy, the collector, on her, but she really didn't do it because he killed himself. She drops her towel, shows her ass, and walks. And like I said, Griffin, it might be an editing issue.
I'm just hoping she didn't because it wasn't worth it.
You're looking for a fleece, a golden fleece. Oh, shit. Well, so was Sinbad. Didn't work out too well for him either. So in case you're wondering, folks, in the one container, the luggage container, there is actually the golden fleece, the object, and in the other container, we haven't quite got to that yet, but it has to do with another Greek myth, which is just chucked into this film for no reason. Doesn't make any sense.
Sure, let's just add some Greek mythology onto this.
That's right. You'll believe a man can't fly. Hey-oh, cheap Superman reference around the 54-minute mark. Then I wrote Lasai. Basically, so Sans Serif throws him out a window for her apartment, and he plummets until he gets hung up on a gargoyle, I think, and doesn't fall to his death. We should mention he is invincible, but for a very good reason. So is Sam Jackson. I think we covered that earlier, but we'll circle back around because that is a plot point. I'm coming after you, Octopus. Why does this idiot keep talking to himself out loud? This turd is like a stylized version of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. In the comics, you can get away with little, balloons of dialogue. But when you're filming a movie, he's just talking to no one. Now, granted,
actually, I would have preferred balloons of dialogue. That would have been great.
That would have been cool, but here he's talking to no one. I'm coming after you, Octopus. Who are you talking to?
There were noir movies way back in the day that they would talk like that, but it didn't even really work then, and there wasn't that many movies.
He does talk directly to the screen later on. He actually breaks the fourth wall, but here he's just talking to himself. So shut up. Runs his mouth just like he runs his dick into everyone in the city.
Just like he runs his dick.
Oh my god. Okay, Sarah Paulson, I hope.
Not Sarah Paulson.
Hopefully she's running some certain tests on him.
She's just pumping his ass full of penicillin every time she sees him.
Griff with the win on that one. And Polton, too. Okay, guys. All the enemy has is guns and knives. I have an entire city as my weapon, and that includes parkour. 57-minute mark. He does a lot of parkour. And there's an action scene where he's just taking out these henchmen, these Three Stooges guys, and then backflipping up.
But it's like infinite
fire
Stooges
escapes
because they're being cloned, so it's infinite Stooges.
A lot of parkour, folks. Dental and Nazi, great. Throw in a few Bratzy Nazis around the hour and 1 minute mark, and we might have more have an entertaining turn, guys.
Oh my god, I was there. Okay, during this scene, I was like, oh my god, this is Yoga Hoser.
Oh yeah, we go right back to Yoga Hoser. Now, but guys, you gotta remember, there's a lot of tonal shifts in this film, or costume changes, And Sam Jackson changed his costume like 1,500 times. In this sequence, and I'm going to talk about this at length because this is the whole crux of the film. He's a Nazi. He's dressed as a Nazi. And so is Cargill.
He's cosplaying.
Right, he's cosplaying.
Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Basterds.
He is, and if you see, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. Basically, the spirit finds the secret lair of the Sam Jackson character, who basically is in the sewers. And before he can do anything, ScarJo pumps him in the neck with some sedative that makes him pass out, and he gets tied up.
But he makes out with her first, because
you can do that. You can do that. Yeah, that's because he's a fucking horn dog, dude. He's somebody Sarah Polton dated. All right, so fucking this is not. Yeah,
you're not wrong.
Exactly. She dated the spirit at some point in her life. So
a couple of times. I was foolish.
It was the mask, right? It was a spirit gum mask that really got.
Look, back 3 months ago when I was foolish.
Yeah, not that long ago. So he passes out and he wakes up. He's tied up in this big goofy rope, the sailor's rope, and he's in a chair. And of course, now what's his name? Jackson and ScarJo are Nazi outfits. I am plaster of Paris. No, you're actress Paz Vega looking like a belly dancer at a cheap Indian restaurant. How much more arbitrary crap is Miller going to dump on the screen, hoping that something will work or stick? Pick a goddamn tone. This is my other problem at the hour and 2 minute mark. He keeps switching tones in the movie. It goes from comedy to slapstick comedy to serious to to graphic violence. What are you doing?
If it was like a grindhouse comedy,
right,
I might be into it.
Right, but he doesn't have the sensibility to go the Tarantino style or even the Rodriguez style.
Yeah,
who I think
they were going Tarantino. I think that's what they were aiming for,
really?
And it just came off as
man,
dumb.
He's just trying to suck everybody's dick, and none of it's worth. There's no ejaculation anywhere. Ugh. Where was I?
Well, he's
what was that sentence on her?
What, is he just licking the tip of the concept?
Yeah, that's exactly. He's just all he's doing is licking everybody's tips, and nobody's orgasming.
Is that not what you're supposed to do?
Hey, no, Paul. Yeah, that's why you're single. Where was I? Death. As in death of Sam Jackson's career for showing up in a Nazi uniform. There you go, folks, around the hour and 3 minute mark. Fortunately, he did go on, despite looking like he was appearing in an unfunny version of The Producers.
Oh my God.
If he started singing, I would have given this film a thumbs up. But basically, he's dressed as a Nazi, and so is ScarJo, which I thought was kind of funny to see her in the Nazi outfit, but okay. And so he's
I thought it looked too, apropos for ScarJo.
We are two of a kind, you and me. Didn't he say that same shit in Unbreakable? Let's now stop the film cold for a nearly 10-minute expositional dump about how these two idiots came to be. Good luck staying awake, kids. This could have been done in a much better way to deliver this information about how these two guys became who they are at this point in the film, which has to do with, the one guy dying, the Gabriel Macht character, and the other guy injecting him with the super serum that revives him, and Sam Jackson injects himself so he becomes superhuman. But guys, it's a 10-minute scene, guys. I don't know if you guys clocked that. I haven't seen that. Jesus, I can't even tell you how long I've seen that long of a sequence in this type of film, even in 2008. It's pacing. It's just general pacing.
That's the thing. This movie is all over the place.
But this really, it grinds to a halt. The film literally grinds to a stop at this because we have to watch 10 minutes of this scene. 10. I gave you a modest injection and I waited, just like the screening audiences got just before watching this turd. Hey-oh.
Oh.
Now once Hercules' blood mixes with Octopus's formula, I become a god. Which makes complete sense. So, we should imagine, now here we go, the other trunk contained the blood of Hercules in a vase, and that's what Sam Jackson, his character, Octopus, ultimately wants, because if he drinks that, he will become an ultimate god and have control over the city and the world and that kind of shit. That's what we're dealing with. The Greek mythology, Hercules' blood, or Heracles, as he tells it, and the Golden Fleece, which is going to come in at the end of this film. Does any of it make sense? No.
This is still better than the plot of Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
Which was my first Indiana Jones movie.
Oh, Polton!
No.
Oh, what the fuck, dude?
Oh, yeah, and episode 1 was my very first Star Wars movie.
Oh, yeah, you got some issues to work for.
No,
Are you in therapy?
It's not her fault. She didn't say she loved it.
It's very expensive.
Enough of this frog talk. Hey, that's Frenchist. Paz Vega, who's the belly dancer in this sequence, helps Gabriel Macht escape from the clutches of Octopus. Give up the ghost. Give up the spirit. Give it up, Earl. And again, it's another cheap "my name is Earl" joke, but unfortunately, it's not Jamie. It was Jamie Presley in that series, and not Jamie King. So the joke goes right out the window. I apologize to both Jamies. First of all, Jamie King, you should have said no, and Jamie Presley, you probably should have said yes. There you go. There you go. Somebody get me a tie, and it sure as hell better be red.
Better be red.
Well, if it isn't, it won't match the Spirit Gum mask I've been wearing for the entire running time. Hour and 20-minute mark. That guy, if you get notice, he's wearing the mask for the entire film.
But can we talk about the scene with Jamie King? He was basically like, "No, I will not make out with you, Death."
Paz Vegas stabs him through the chest with one of her sword before she walks off.
And then she walks off into an alley going, "Oh, I do this."
And that was the end of her character. Yeah, she's gone. So Paz Vegas was never a great actress. She had a great body. I will say she looked great in the belly.
No, she actually is a good actress. It's like,
oh really?
She was the only good part of Spanglish.
You know what? She was fun.
Oh, okay, all right.
On this. All right. And she was cute.
So she goes away, and he's critically injured. So he takes a sword out that she stabbed him with, and he falls into the river, that mud shit-filled river, and runs into Lorelei, which, of course, is Death, embodiment of Jamie King, not Jamie Presley, as I've come to find out during the show.
Bad, crystal.
Oh, it doesn't make any sense. So they start making out, because basically he wants to, she wants him to end his life, and he tries to end his life, but then, of course, he agrees that that's not going to work, and he has to go back. Hey, you keep that thing pointed at the octopus. Griff?
That's what she said.
Hey-oh! All right, we got 2 out of this. I could have done 3 or 4. Honestly, there's so many bad lines. That's when we're going to keep going. But you get the idea, folks. Is every goddamn woman in this goddamn hellhole out of their goddamn mind? I ask this sexist question every week in the restroom. Hey-oh!
Hey, then do it by yourself.
Well, I get next week, folks. Solo show.
It's just honor,
just literally talking to my fucking self,
laughing his sexuality.
And laughing my own.
You're gonna be using the soundboard a lot more.
Yeah, if I didn't have you ladies, I honestly would not have a show, and that's the God's honest truth. No, it's true. Yeah, I know. It would be really horrible here, making sexist jokes for an hour. There you go, folks. But like this film, that's an actual line that Dan Laria says to fucking the chick from Castle before the final climax. So basically, Gabriel Macht survives, of course, the death scene. He decides to work with the Commissioner Gordon character to take down the octopus. He knows where he's going to be to get this final suitcase that Sans Serif has that he wants, which is the vase of the blood of Hercules, and she wants the golden fleece. So now we have to have this big showdown at the back end of the film. Hercules, I always thought it was Hercules. Although I don't know how Jackson would have heard that question, since the spirit is standing about a half a mile away from them around the hour and 20-minute mark.
I think the spirit tries to be all remember at The Sound of Music when they try to get the Rolf to go with them? He tries to get ScarJo to turncoat.
It's very Nazi. There's very Nazi. Yeah, right. There's a whole sequence of
come with this. Come with it.
The trade-off of the case between ScarJo and Eva Mendes. Again, there's another costume change, folks. Everybody's dressed like a fucking moron, like a Zoolander film. Everybody's dressed like they're in a Zoolander film. All the costumes don't make any fucking sense.
Oh, this movie is so. I thought about Zoolander.
It is Zoolander. There's a lot of Zoolander costumes. Yeah, exactly. Again, the second Zoolander reference 2 weeks in a row here. Give it to them, boys. Messy climax that makes about as much sense as the rest of the film. So, as a result, the cops start shooting. Helicopters come up. Sam Jackson gets these 2 big-ass guns out. He starts shooting because he's invincible. People start scattering.
Seriously, it was like Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote.
And just before Sam Jackson can down the blood of Hercules, it's shot out of his hand by one chick. I think it was Eva Mendes. I don't know who shot it.
There's like a 4-minute lead up with him
it's
liquid.
Long.
Yes, finally.
Just drink
I've
it.
got the liquid.
Right.
I can finally drink it. Now's the time.
Just drink it.
On and on.
Just chug that cock. Anybody does not do that.
Nope,
as a result,
hold on.
and it gets shot out of his hand by, I think, Eva Mendes. I don't know who does it. So anyway, the Gabriel Macht character steps in, and he says, "Let's die." Sticks a grenade up his ass. Says, "Let's die. Something should have happened an hour and a half ago, so we have to endure this nightmare of filmmaking." So basically, he blows up the Sam Jackson character completely. Not completely. There's a little tagger on the end of that. But as a result of that, Eva Mendes steps in with the golden fleece and wraps the golden fleece around her and Gabriel Macht. I'm not making this up. This is literally what happens to the film. And it's about as fucking stupid as I'm describing it. So they survive. They both survive, and Sam Jackson dies, and the henchmen die. But ScarJo is still around, apparently, to show up as Black Widow. Maybe I'll wear it now and then, but it doesn't mean I'm your girl. If Mac had pimp slapped Mendes at that moment, I would give this film a thumbs up.
No, it was a callback.
Yeah, well, it's a but he should have just pimp slapped her.
Oh, Honor, you got back to your old self by the end of the movie.
Yeah, but
we went on a journey.
You were woke through like 90% of the movie, and then you went back to your old ways.
Yeah,
so cute.
I gotta finish it off with my old sexist pimp slap himself. So basically, yes, he gives a locket back to the Mendes character, and they reconnect and kiss to say goodbye, basically, because as Batman and Catwoman know, they can't spend their lives together, and they have to run off doing different shit. It's you I love, baby, with all my heart. Wonder how many times Sarah Paulson has heard that line. Ew.
Oh God, every day all day.
All right.
I don't check my DM. Sorry.
With apologies to our current BF. We start from scratch, which is what the studio should have done after reading this script.
Right.
So basically, ScarJo finds one finger crawling along the ground.
When he initially got like the first blast, I was like, "What is that?" And then there was something crawling. Okay, when she looked in the rearview mirror, you see a little elongated body part, like with some girth, crawling toward her car in the rearview mirror, and I was like, "Holy shit! Is that his dick?"
Man, that would have been awesome if it was.
I'm sorry, but it looked like a dick, and I think they did that on purpose.
If it was Sam Jackson's dick, I would have given this film a thumbs up. Or a dick up. Or a dick up.
I didn't know it was rated PG-13 at the time, so I was like,
it should have been R.
Holy shit, is that his dick?
That, unfortunately, it's not. I think it's his finger.
Because it kind of like the fingernail area kind of looks at the head when it was like from a distance.
Man, that would have been, I would have given it a thumb. That would have been awesome. Like, what a great film that would have been if it was his dick crawling. Oh, God.
Well, because like the essence of a man and like him. I wrote a very twisted, better version.
I bet you did fan fiction. You did like.
I think they did it on purpose. I think so.
All right. Polton, did you think it was his dick?
No.
Oh, so Griffin. No. Well, Griffin, maybe you're alone.
I don't know why my mind was not there, because that usually is me. But no, I didn't put those together.
You didn't put his dick together.
This movie was so jacked up that I was like,
I may have been asleep. To be fair.
You may. Okay, there you go. She is my city, and I'm her spirit. She is my cinematic turd, and I am her cinematic bowl. Hey, there you go. Griffin on credits. Is there anything?
No. I aside from a really weird Christina Aguilera song. No.
All right, we can cite that. I guess you go, man, what a piece of shit. Guys, for you Sin City fans and 300 fans, just what a disaster, complete start to finish. Frank Miller, God bless him. Yeah, he's a talented writer 20 years ago.
God bless him? No.
Well, 20 years ago. Yeah, fuck him for doing this movie. It's terrible.
It probably would have been rapier if he actually got
that's the other problem. Right. Maybe he's not the best person to be adapting to live action stuff.
Oh, but God bless him anyway. Oh, God bless him.
God bless him.
Bless his rapey soul.
Oh, shit. All right, there you go, folks. Oh, God, that is the spirit for this week. We took it out and played with it a long learn. We should have. Can we flush it, ladies? Can we please flush it?
Flush it with his phallic-looking finger.
His big crawling dick. Consider it flush. That is it for this week. I want to thank my lovely co-cinematic flushers, Midwest Movie Mogul, Colleen Griffin, and Sassy Cinephile, Sarah Polton. Great job as always, lady. We're going to be back next week to torture you with something else. We promise we're going to have a guest next week. We said that last week, and we didn't follow through this week, but next week, guarantee we're going to have anybody show up to level us out. Until then, say goodbye, ladies.
Bye.
Hi, this is Nora Crest, and I want to thank you for listening this week and every week as we flush these turds down our cinematic bowl here in the restroom. If you haven't already, please subscribe to us on iTunes and Google Play Music so we attract more listeners and you don't miss a single episode. We love feedback, so email us at signalsoffury@gmail.com with your comments and suggestions for future flushes. Also, be sure to check out our home restroom on the net, signalsoffury.com. Until next time, remember, we're here to flush it so you don't have to see it. I'm Nora Crest, and this has been the award-winning Soiled Restroom Cinema.